Welcome everyone to Meditation Monday. It's so beautiful to continue to see everyone show up. So many beautiful, beautiful faces and names. And as always, what I'd love to do is let's just start by taking a deep belly breath in. Just start to tune into the moment. Starting to tune into your breath and your awareness. Because today we are going on a very, very special ride. Take another deep belly breath all the way in through the nose. And already beginning to feel your shoulders relax, your back relax, your neck relax down. And as you continue just to keep that deep, long inhale, that nice and slow exhale going. A beautiful rhythm, a beautiful wave going in and out. I'm going to take you on a journey through space, through time, ultimately landing on the other side of time where we step into an eternal space, an eternal dimension where all possibilities exist, where it does not take time to create the experiences that you want to have. And these experiences that you have are generated inside of your mind, so it is instantaneous. So taking in one more deep belly breath in. Recognizing that we are not just the ones that are experiencing this life and experiencing this existence, but we are also the architects. And I'll be diving more into that later because I'm going to be bringing you along a journey, a wave of information through the dimensions as I tune you into the concept of 6-dimensional healing, where we can shift timelines, we can shift pains, we can shift traumas, we can see things from an eagle perspective, from high above, and we can also shift patterns in our energetic field instantaneously. And when we begin to shift the patterns internally, the patterns that matter literally forms around what we begin to do is we begin to shift our external representation of that energetic pattern. So as you take one more deep breath in, knowing that if you have worked with me personally one-on-one or been following me or been tuning into any kind of group coaching, knowing that once you feel the emotion, once you change your perspective, once you shift the energetic pattern within you, literal magic begins to happen in your life. But what I want to introduce to you is the concept that it's not magic. I actually introduced the concept that it is spiritual science. It is mathematical in nature. That if you shift the equation, if you shift the foundational patterns of mind, then you shift the foundational patterns of reality because all is mind. Taking in one more deep belly breath in as you allow yourself to fully relax. And in order to traverse this dimensional reality, first we need to connect in with the 3-dimensional body. So I want you to just bring your awareness to the space behind your eyes and between your temples. Just begin to notice the space inside of your head. Noticing the energy, the current of energy flowing from one temple to the other. And as you allow that energy to move and you become aware of it inside of your mind, your thoughts begin to slow down. And when your thoughts begin to slow down, you now have space to literally sit inside the center of your head, inside the center of your mind with your awareness. So just sit there for a moment, float inside the center of your mind with all of your awareness and presence. And now bring all that awareness down, down, down to underneath your tongue. And just notice what it feels like to be present with the space under your tongue. Now taking a deep belly breath in and allowing that awareness to come down into your chest space as you become aware of your heartbeat in the space within the center of your beingness. As we begin to feel the rhythmic thump of our heartbeat. And when you tune into your heartbeat, you begin to recognize that this is a carrier wave. This electromagnetic field, this rhythm of your heart literally carries your thoughts out into the universe. As you take another deep belly breath in, we're going to set an intention today. As you tune into your heart, what do you want out of this life? Maybe today you're moving through some challenges. Maybe you want some guidance. Maybe you're working towards your dreams and your intention today is manifesting them into reality. What I want you to do is just take a deep belly breath in and allow yourself to float here for just a moment as you set your intention. Beautiful. So now that our intention is set, taking one more deep belly breath in, we are going to begin to tune into that heart space, tune into that heartbeat, and recognize that if you were nothing but a heartbeat, floating in an endless ocean of rhythm and sound, how would you be able to understand who you were? How would you answer the question, who am I? What am I here for? If all you were was this rhythmic thumping, this rhythmic beating of your heart. And this, my friends, is your introduction into the first dimension, the dimension of I am. I am, that's it. That is all the information that you have access to in this moment. You can sense your heartbeat. You can sense the rhythm. You can sense the energy. But how do you know what I am is? So from this space of the I amness, taking a deep breath in, recognizing that in the same way a knife can't cut itself and teeth can't bite themselves. You can't chew your teeth. In the same way, you don't know what your face looks like unless you have a mirror to reflect upon. The first dimension is this space of I am, but I don't know what I am is. So when we begin to shift from I am to recognizing that we need something to reflect, we need something to contrast this experience of I am, we begin to create the second dimension, which is polarity. We begin to create an opposite, a mirror, something that is facing us to see ourselves. So in this space of two dimensions, we begin to see hot and cold. We begin to see light and dark. We begin to see up and down. Something to differentiate us, me, I am, from quote unquote other. But we all know deep down that there is no difference between hot and cold. It's all just degrees of the same exact thing. Between light and dark, it's just degrees of the same thing. So as we take a deep breath in, we're going to begin to realize that the good and bad in our life and the quote unquote separation is just differing in degrees. So what I want you to do, just for a moment, is find something in your life that you would judge as negative. Bring into the forefront of your mind a negative experience, a negative thought, maybe a belief, or maybe it was an interaction with someone else and you didn't like it. Maybe there was anger, maybe there's frustration or hurt or betrayal. I want you to just bring into your mind this contrast of the second dimension. And as you begin to breathe into that contrast, starting to gaze into the mirror of other, recognize that with this duality, we need to have a third perspective. So we're adding in the third dimension, beginning to recognize that as the observer, we can see and perceive. We can change the direction, we can change the angle that we begin to see this, and recognize that those negative experiences in our life, if we shift the angle, if we shift our perception, how we approach it, how we look at it, may be a blessing in disguise. Yeah, there you go. Deep breath in. Recognizing that within each quote unquote negative experience, there's beauty and gold. And within each positive experience, guess what? You won't be able to hang on to it forever. So there's that quote unquote negative that we find in each and every experience, positive and negative. Now, in order to have an experience of the evolution and change between the positive and negative and the change in perspective, we need to find ourselves in what I call the fourth dimension, which is time. So I want you to begin to recognize that positive experience or that negative experience beginning to shift and change. And when we tune into time, most people think time is linear. So I want you to imagine you standing on your timeline right now. And in front of you is the future. And behind you is the past. This is how most people perceive time. This is how I perceive time. But what I've just learned and what you guys are coming to understand is that time is not linear. Time is circular. Time is cyclical. The way that human beings measure time is by rotation of the earth. Every time the earth turns and rotates, guess what? That's a new day. But with every single rotation, we always have 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. And every time the earth rotates around the sun, we call that a year. But what we begin to realize is with circles and with cycles, it doesn't matter how many times you make that journey, you're always coming back to the same exact place. And this is why I like to think of time as a circle and as a spiral. We are spiraling through time, down through time, ever shifting, ever changing, ever evolving. Taking a deep breath in. As we begin to move through the fourth dimension, recognizing that you can now float back on the hands of time, turning the earth back, moving through time with your mind, back to one of the most joyful, happy, pleasant experiences that you've ever had as a child. And allow the energy of that moment to flood your system. Because the three-dimensional body is experiencing your fourth dimensional mind. When you move back to that moment in time, you get to hug the people that were loving you. You get to play the things that you were playing. You get to re-experience the joy, the care, the love, the experience that fills you up from top to bottom with pleasure and happiness. Because your mind is not limited to the third dimension or the fourth dimension or the second dimension. Your mind can actually traverse these dimensions very easily. And with the right guidance, we can begin to shift and create our own reality. So taking one more deep belly breath in. What I want to do is I want you to tell your body in this moment to surrender. Tell your body to relax. Give it permission to have a new experience. Give it permission to feel safe. Give it permission to feel supported by the earth and gravity, knowing that you're not going to float away. Give it permission to feel the support of your bed or your chair, feeling the soft safety. Give it permission to step outside of the confines of quote unquote reality for just a moment as we begin to step into the eternal. So you may begin to feel your body feeling light. You may begin to feel your body floating. You may begin to feel your mind drifting as we begin to silence the mind, moving into the unconscious space where time doesn't exist, where you can just float here forever, and where the body is almost a faint memory. Because when we disconnect from the body and time and the pains, the emotions, all of those things involved with the third and fourth dimension, when we can take a deep breath in and allow those things to fall away, float away, drift away now, we now have access to what I call the fifth dimension. And I want you to imagine a pyramid forming in your mind where you can move right to the top of the pyramid. And when you look at the different symbology of the ancients, this is what we call the all-seeing eye, the eye of illumination. From this higher perspective, this higher vantage point, not held down and weighed down by the heaviness of the blocks below, the body below, you can then perceive into far off, distant, quote unquote, times, spaces, realities. And from this higher perspective, you begin to gain perspective. You begin to understand the purpose of the patterns. You can look back at your childhood now, traveling through at the speed of thought, seeing all the polarity, seeing all the pain, the joy, the happiness, the laughs, beginning to recognize that your deepest pain is also your deepest medicine to give. And when you are not in the pain, when you are not in the body, when you are not in the emotions, in the thoughts, you can see clearly. Taking a deep breath in. And when you begin to see the patterns that have moved throughout your entire life from childhood onwards, guess what? Patterns repeat. But they don't just repeat, they grow, they evolve, they transform. So once we begin to tune into our deepest pains, for me, my deepest pain was I didn't feel loved. I didn't feel like I belonged. I feel like my inner child needed so much more that he didn't receive. So in that deepest pain, I recognized that my deepest medicine was to first give myself what I needed, which was deep love, presence, attention. And now I'm able to give that to other people's inner children. So my deepest pain became my deepest gift, my deepest medicine. So I want you to look back from this higher perspective, this light of illumination, this fifth dimension, high above the pains of the past, but being able to clearly see the pains of the past. What is your deepest pain? What's your deepest challenge? What did you need most as a child, but you didn't receive? Maybe it was financial security. Maybe it was validation and approval. Maybe it was safety. Whatever it is, allow yourself in this place of mind where there is no body, no time, no space, just thought, conscious awareness, the all-seeing eye. Allow yourself to now perceive the future, where today is the transition point. Today is the changing point, where you take that pain of the past and the pattern that is continually being relived over and over in relationships and work, drama playing out through your life, and extracting the knowledge, wisdom, and experience, extracting the purpose so that you can give yourself what you're needing, what you needed most, but you didn't receive. So that you then embody the medicine, so that as you walk through your life and pass by people, that medicine is spread just by way of your energy, your energetic vibration, the pattern that you hold inside of your body, taking a deep, deep belly breath in. We are going to now traverse from the fifth dimension, that high atop of the pyramid, light of awareness. And we're going to drop down, down, down through the bottom of the pyramid. And we are going to create a mirror reflection. That light of awareness now creating a shadow as you create another pyramid below that pyramid. So it's like two pyramids stacked on top of each other, their bases meeting in the middle. And I want you to take a deep breath in, recognizing that this geometry creates what I call, it's a prism. And what a prism does is it refracts light. It distorts light. So we won't get into this today, but in the seventh dimension, I want you to take a deep breath in and imagine what life would be like if you were pure light, as if you were in the center of the sun. Because at the deepest levels of reality, that's the truth, is you are just light, and all light is information. And in this light, everything around you is you. Everything around you is light. Pure white light, source energy, boundless possibilities, and infinite expression. And in the same way as you tuning into your heartbeat, feeling that vibration and an infinite sea of vibration, needing to create other in order to understand self. This infinite light that you are, taking a deep breath in, desired to understand its full potential. What am I? What am I truly capable of? What is it? Allowing those thoughts to permeate your mind. Who am I? Why am I here? What am I meant for? And this infinite light, using power of will, decided to drop down, quote unquote, into darkness. Because if everything is light and you are light, you are also everything, and there is no distinction between anything else. If you were in a pure white room, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between anything. So darkness was then created. And this is the conscious the unconscious, the separation, the fall, taking a deep breath in, recognizing that you are the light and you are also the prism. You're creating that prism, those two pyramids. And the light at top is the awareness, and the darkness at the bottom is the distortion. And this distortion is all the shapes, the textures, the colors, the sensations. These are all the things that create the illusion of reality. So when you create the balance and harmony between light and dark within you right now, you now have access to the architectural realm of reality. So in this time space outside of those dimensions, you can change the patterns of your life with thought alone. So what I'd love for you to do is take a moment to reimagine your life, recognizing the deepest pain and the medicine, what you were needing, the purpose in that. And with those guiding lights of awareness, redesign your life now. What kind of relationship do you want to have? If you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that you were pure light, pure potential, and anything that you wished, reality would command. What kind of loving, healthy boundaries would you set? Knowing that by setting loving, healthy boundaries, you're also allowing others to understand themselves in deeper ways. Because as light moves through that prism, pure white light, it breaks into different rays, turns into red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, differentiating. And as we move into that dream space of separation, we forget who we were. We forget that we all are one in the same. But we have to forget in order to experience our potential. So the light of awareness sets our purpose, and the dark node sets the pathway that we follow to find our purpose. So as you begin to create your reality, where do you live? What kind of house or apartment or space do you want to create and generate for yourself? Recognizing that you are in the prism of conscious creation. Maybe even imagining the layout of your space. Reimagining the layout of your space. Imagining you're in a sandbox like a little kid, and you get to play, you get to create, you get to draw and hang pictures, you get to shift your furniture around. Maybe even notice the car in your driveway. Just experiencing a childlike innocence and fun with this process. Allowing yourself to float in this creation in your mind. And now tuning into, what is your purpose here? What are you doing for work? If you can grant any wish that you had, if you could do anything that you desired with no fear, no shame, no judgment, what would you be doing right now? If you knew that you had medicine to give, that people out there were sick, needing your voice, your presence, your energy, what would you be doing? How would you be doing it? What I like to is I like to imagine like a mystery character in a video game, like a blacked out question mark face. Just imagine someone sitting in front of you, having a conversation, and that conversation absolutely changing their life. I want you to imagine that person overflowing with gratitude. Your medicine, your perspective, your story, your experience, allowing this person to take off a 1,000-pound book bag that they've been carrying for their entire life. That same 1,000-pound book bag that you used to carry. The responsibilities that you placed on your shoulders, the pain of your parents, trauma, recognizing that as you pass that light through the prism, this person that's sitting in front of you, just like a mirror, is you. Every loved one that you've ever experienced is just a distortion of you. And when I say distortion, that's neither good nor bad. We need distortion in order to see ourselves. Every lover that you've ever taken on as a romantic partner is just a distortion of you. Every enemy that you've ever faced was just another distortion of you, a ray of light that wanted to experience what it would be like to fight with itself, to judge itself, to shame itself. When you begin to see the world from this perspective, the perspective of light, you begin to recognize that you are all and all is one. And from that place, we can truly and honestly come from a place of compassion for others in pain because they simply forgot. They have amnesia just like we did. And how beautiful is it that you can become that light for them, that light of awareness that gently nudges them back into the realization that, hey, you're loved. I care about you. I see you. I know who you really are because I'm understanding deeper and deeper, deeper levels of myself. And now I want you to take a deep breath in and imagine yourself sitting in the center, just like a conductor in an orchestra, looking out at all the different distortions of you, looking at the parts of you that want to send you unconditional love, looking at the parts of you just like they're different parts of the band, right? We have the drums sending that heartbeat of love towards you. We have the basses. We have the people that are here to challenge you, to remind you of your strength, your power, your fortitude, your will. We have the people that are here to trigger you, to show you where there is distortion in your energy field, where you are not in alignment with harmony and love, where you judge yourself, saying that they're a valuable member of the team. And then there's going to be people that are teachers and mentors, neither better or worse than you, neither above or below, always beside you, but gently and easily guiding you back onto the path when you lose your way, or usher you into the next version of who you're becoming. Then, of course, there's our parents. I want you to tune into your parents for a moment, taking a deep breath in. And when you come to this realization that they are you and you are literally made of them, compassion sets in. And also deep truth, and you allow yourself to feel the emotions that were pent up, that were caged in, that you were afraid to express to them all these years, afraid to feel yourself because you thought that if you were angry, that means you didn't love them. Or if they hurt you, that means you had to hide it, or they would feel unloved. You can allow all these emotions to be released now. All these distortions, these patterns in the field, these patterns in your energy, these patterns in your heart, these patterns in your mind to begin to dissolve. And when you dissolve those patterns, you allow a higher form of consciousness, a higher version of light, a pure form of energy to run through your system, taking a deep breath in, feeling yourself standing in the center of those two pyramids and allowing an electric current to run from the tip of your head down to your toes, allowing universal energy source, God energy. And if God is not a word you like to use, I like to use atom. So allow yourself to breathe in the energy of light. Breathe it into the top of your head, all the way down to your belly and out through your toes. Allowing this energy to rearrange you at a molecular, a genetic, a DNA level for the greatest and highest good, for your deepest evolution and expansion into spiritual consciousness, while you remain grounded and rooted in your three-dimensional experience. Because I'll tell you this, you came here for a reason. A lot of people want to escape the body, escape upwards, go back up. But when we recognize that when we get too high up, it gets a little bit boring because everything is everything. We want to have the experience. We want to have the fun. We want to experience the pains, the pleasures, the doubts, the fears, the joys, the memories. And by doing so, we are serving our deepest spiritual calling by living fully in the moment, releasing the illusions of separation. As you take a deep belly breath in and out, allowing this energy to solidify back into a new pattern of light, of awareness, allowing the images to come back, the images of your perfect relationship, the images of your most ideal home, the images of the vehicle that you choose to maneuver around this space-time with. And allow the image of all of those people that you are here to help, to affect, in whatever capacity that looks like for you in this moment in your journey. Knowing that you are just like an acorn seed. Your dreams being planted into the earth. All of the information that an oak tree needs is hidden within that seed. All it needs is a little bit of watering, a little bit of time, a little bit of soil, a little bit of sunlight. And it trusts itself to expand and grow at the rate and speed that is perfect for you. Just float in those images for just a few more moments. Knowing that you are now co-creating with Source. You are downloading light, pure light codes, information through the prism into the three-dimensional reality, into the matrix. Through the light of awareness, the Father, and through the darkness of matter, the Mother. And when we even look at the roots of those words, the paternal line, the paternal, the pattern, the energy pattern, that is then wrapped and cloaked in the mother, or the mater, or the matter, the matrix. Shining your light of awareness through the prism and projecting it into the three-dimensional experience and experiencing it through the cycles of time. Taking one more deep belly breath in. Knowing it to be done, willing it to be done, aligning with that future, aligning with the present, aligning with the past. Allowing yourself to feel yourself floating down now. Down from the seventh dimension of light through that prism of fifth and sixth dimensional eternal architect energy, through the prism as you begin to solidify, floating down, down through time, down through space, down back into your body that has been reformed, upgraded, rejuvenated, revitalized through light and love. Taking a deep belly breath in. And on the count of 1, nice and slowly, just bringing your awareness, bringing your consciousness, bringing your mind back into the body, back into the fingers, back into the toes. On the count of 2, bringing all that light back with you, feeling your energy field starting to condense down into your physical body, your physical matter. And on the count of 3, making it reality with your breath. 3 and 4, deep breath in and out. And on the count of 5, coming back to the moment, coming back to the call, opening your eyes at the rate and speed that is perfect for you. Knowing that you have done powerful work, the most potent form of work. Recognizing that all of the shifts and changes that come through you over the next few days to a week is going to unfold synchronistically, easily, effortlessly, because you have changed the pattern. You're no longer physical matter trying to change physical matter. You were above physical matter. You were the light of consciousness that allows physical matter to take form and shape. One more deep breath in. And you can return to the replay of this whenever you'd like to reconnect, to reshape, to refortify your life in whatever way, shape, or form that works for you.